And we're back for another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes Top 15 poll. Thank you guys so much for joining me on this series again, and I am stoked today to be bringing on a guest to talk through the top 15 with me. The one, the only, the Raid Master himself, McMole2. What's going on, McMole?
Hey man, how you doing? Glad to be here for this top 15 poll.
Dude, it is about time that we did a video together. I'm stoked to have you here.
Yeah.
And especially to talk through these characters. I mean, out of all of the YouTubers that I have been watching growing up in this game, your knowledge is on point. And so I'm really stoked to bring your perspectives into this video.
Oh, thank you.
Let's get to the others receiving votes. And before I do that, I do just want to talk through, I've actually changed how I am doing the top 15 poll. I now have a organized committee of 52 pollers who are actually voting on this poll every month. Down in the description below, I have a document where you can actually read up on all of the pollers so you can know who is voting on this, who are these guys, and what's their experience like. All of them are experienced, knowledgeable players in the game who bring varying perspectives and what have you to the poll. So go ahead and check that out when you get the chance. All right, taking a look at the others receiving votes. Now, McMole, I know that you've been able to look through some of the previous polls. What are some of your thoughts on the others receiving votes?
I'm surprised to see Stormtrooper and Veers on there. Granted, they only have one vote each, but that's really not characters you really think of when you're thinking of the top 15 characters, especially Stormtrooper. Veers a little bit there, but Stormtrooper is one of those iffy characters. Fulcrum Ahsoka, she's really dropped out, especially back from the August rankings. Let's see, who else we got on here? Zombies making a nice little climb up the ranks. Biggs is...
I think Zombie's underrated. I mean, for anyone who goes against Zombie, I'm not going to say maybe she needs to be top 15 for sure, but man, that is when you run her right, and we should be considering these characters at their best for this poll. That's something that I always ask when I do this poll. At Zombie's best, she is a pain to take care of, especially when you pair her with Acolyte.
Yeah, another character on here is Hermit Yoda. Seems a bit low in the rankings, but there is something to keep in mind that, you know, a lot of people don't really have him unlocked yet, so I have a feeling that as more people unlock Yoda and get to play with him, they'll really put him up in the rankings more.
We got Ezra Bridger, and I know, McMole, you are super high on Ezra. You think he's a bit underrated?
He is absolutely underrated at 15. I mean, I've been on the love train with him since he pretty much came out into the game, and he's,
me too.
Yeah, he's always one of those characters you can just throw into any team, and he just makes it better. He has he doesn't require any kind of faction synergies. You throw him into a team, and his watch and learn doesn't matter what faction it is. He'll just make the team so much better.
We got Jyn Erso at number 14, and Jyn keeps surprising me because I personally haven't found a ton of use for her. But I think, I don't know about you, McMole, but I feel like maybe she's getting in there because she's really valuable in territory battles.
Yeah, it's definitely her leadership, the Zeta leadership there. That's what's causing her to be in the top 15.
And then number 13 is Towson. And I think Towson is super underrated. I'm not going to say she's necessarily top 5, but she works super well on defense. I am always targeting her with Han Solo first, because if I get hit with Plague, especially my Han Solo, he's a bit squishy, I'm going to be dead super fast. What do you think?
Yeah, I think Towson, probably a little bit underrated because it's Night Sisters, and there's not a lot of people who enjoy Night Sisters, but there's also a lot of people who haven't really bothered with her yet because of the extensive unlock system we have to get her. So I think that in another year, once people really start to unlock her, then I think you'll see a lot more people are higher on Towson and really finding her to be more useful.
All right, numbers 12 and 11, rounding it out, we got Shays. And I think it's so interesting, every month I've done this poll, Chariton bays have come in right next to each other every time. I think everybody just ranks them side by side, which is why that is happening. And you know what? It's kind of stale. Love them or hate them. Chase are there. They're one of the best duos in the game still, and they do have use. They're super good in territory battles. They're phenomenal in raids, especially in Phase 4, I think, of the heroic tank. You're the raid master, you tell me. But I think that there's still a ton of use for them, even though they've kind of run their course in the arena, maybe, and not as many are using them there. They still deserve top 15.
Yeah, I mean, something to consider is without Chase, the Jin Zeta would be pretty useless in territory battles because Chariton gives out all those healing buffs. FaZe constantly gets that taunt and their counter, and just all that constant protection regeneration with those two characters. I think without them, you just would not see Jin to be really used in territory battles.
Number 10. Captain Rex, and I am impressed with Rex because last month he came in at number 15, and I thought that Rex was going to be out of the top 15. I thought people were done with Rex, that he was going to fall out into that others receiving votes category, but guess what? He actually climbed up to number 10, and I think the reason why is because he just works so well as a counter to these critical hit heavy rebel teams.
He is definitely a go-to for a team that relies on critical hits. And that's just the magical thing with him. Plus his squad discipline, you can never not hate that or not love that thing because it just gives tenacity up to the entire team. Plus the turn meter boost.
Coming in at number 9, we've got BB-8. And I love BB-8. I don't know about you. I can't wait to get my first order already and have that event come back. I really want to get him at 7 stars so I can use him in raids, especially in Phase 2.
Wait, you don't have BB-8 yet?
I've got him at 5 stars, and I've got him at Gear 11.
What is wrong with you?
I know. Well, I missed the boat on first order. I was focusing on light side, but I'm working on him now feverishly.
You better get BB-8 to 7 stars, man, because you're missing out on him.
I know. But Illuminated Destiny, I mean, wow, what an ability.
Yeah.
And when you use him with resistance, especially under Zeta Finn, you can get to Illuminated Destiny fast. And for the first 5 phases of territory battles, I absolutely love using my BB-8. I'll throw up Illuminated Destiny like 3 or 4 times in one combat mission.
Oh yeah, it's great.
Coming in at number 8, my nemesis, my rival, my most hated character in the game, Zeta Barris. And much to my dismay, not only is she in the top 10, she climbed a spot. She went from number 9 to number 8. What do you think about Zeta Barris?
I am right there with you. I hate fighting her.
Oh, preach.
She's the worst. And I mean, I use a Commander Luke team that has Princess Leia and Han Solo on it with Zeta and Han. And eventually I'll wear her down, but there's times where I'll get her down to like 20% health and she'll just heal herself up.
Boom.
And then it's just
done.
like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. It's the worst.
I mean, the strategy to beat her is proven. You lay buff immunity on General Kenobi, then you critical hit Barris, and then she'll have critical hit immunity, and then you plow through her. But I don't know about you, I found that strategy to be pretty RNG dependent. It can fall apart pretty easily if you're not careful.
Yeah. It's very RNG dependent. If you mess up at least a little bit, it's all over.
It's easier to just annihilate her. I usually take out my Han Solo and put Nihilus in there and call it good.
Yeah.
Alright, coming in at number 7 is Finn. And Finn is my recent Zeta. I finally am on the Resistance bandwagon. I know it's been a long time and I'm late to the party, but man, I do not regret it.
He's had that Zeta for like a year.
Well, I didn't have resistance. That's my problem, is I didn't have any resistance. But now I've actually got all my resistance at Gear 12 except for BB-8 and Rey and Resistance Pilot, but I'm not going to use them. So, but man, Finn, his Zeta ability, when you use him with resistance, I think it has a case for best Zeta in the game.
It definitely is one of the best Zetas in the game. I think Mobile Gamer just put out a video today talking about the best Zeta in the game. I think it was Finn he was talking about. And yeah, like, Resistance now, it's one of your most dominant raid teams. It completely wipes the floor with Galactic War. It's an incredibly dominant team in territory battles. Doesn't do all right on defense for Arena, but it's a fantastic offensive team for Arena.
But are they one character away from being good and viable on defense? What if we get Saber Rey in the game? And what is her ability kit going to look like? She's going to have the resistance tag.
Unless she somehow reprograms the resistance team to prioritize exposed targets, then they're not going to be good on defense.
Well, that's a good point.
Because that's the problem, is because they're like Mace Windu in that case. Hey, that target's exposed. Let me go attack this other target instead.
Right, right. All right, coming in at number 6, we got Darth Nihilus, and this is pretty stale at this point. He's been at number 6 for several months now, and he's really kind of locked in at that spot. But something I really appreciate about Darth Nihilus is he has a lot working against him when it comes to faction. He's Sith, he's Dark Side, both of which struggle in the current meta, and Darth Nihilus is still up there in number 6 in a lot of the best teams in the game. I think it's really cool that he's kind of stood the test of time all by himself in spite of his faction kind of sucking, but he still is very viable himself.
Oh yeah, no, his Annihilate is pretty much
Can't beat
the
it.
main reason. Yeah, without that Annihilate, you wouldn't see him in the top 10.
Coming in at number 5, we got Han Solo. What do you think about Han Solo?
I think that we need to change up these rankings a little bit. It's all stale from 1 through 7.
It really is, and it's not going to get much better. And, I mean, it's kind of hard to argue against it, though. I mean, I really wish that I could move somebody else into this spot. And, again, I mean, this isn't my opinion. This is the rankings. But if we don't put Han Solo here, do you think somebody else would deserve to be that high?
I mean, you could make the case for pushing Nihilus and Finn up to 5.
Maybe, but that's
well,
not that big
Finn,
of a shakeup,
but
I guess.
yeah, no, there's really no one.
It's hard.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna say Han doesn't deserve to be there, but it's he definitely deserves to be in the top 5, especially with that Zeta on him. But yeah, there's really no one else I can think of that really, like, I can look at him and say, yeah, that's definitely a top 5 character.
Tons of raid viability.
Yeah.
He's got tons of territory battle viability. He is meta right now. He works on every meta team pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
He can deal in one turn virtually 60,000 damage about.
Yep.
If you pair it with, you know, he's going to go again after he does his special ability. So it's hard to put him anywhere else. Number 4, kind of a similar issue. We've got General Kenobi here, and he's number 4 last month too. And I mean, I don't think you can really argue to put anyone else there.
No.
And I think it's one thing I think is impressive about General Kenobi in particular. Out of the whole top 5, General Kenobi has been around the longest. Technically Han Solo has, but Han Solo, the new and improved Han Solo, has not.
Yeah,
but
Han
General
Solo was
Kenobi,
garbage before the rework.
Yeah, exactly. General Kenobi, no Zetas, no reworks, best tank in the game indisputably.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the devs knew what they were doing when they made General Kenobi and then made him the heroic AT reward. He that was a character, like, everybody looked at him and they said, I have to have that character. Like, that really pushed a lot of people to go to heroic
And they
tank rates.
still do. I mean,
Yeah.
I get questions all the time. People say, should I still be prioritizing General Kenobi? Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you should
Yes.
be. If you if you are not in a heroic tank guild, I'm sorry, I don't mean to tell you to ditch people that you like playing the game with, but you should probably find one, or you should be in a guild that is working towards that point. If you yourself are not quite there, you know, if you're still working up to level 85, I think it makes sense. But if you're sitting at level 85, you've been playing this game for a year and a half, 2 years, you need to be in a heroic tank guild. You need to have General Kenobi.
Absolutely.
All right, number 3, we have R2-D2. Now, R2-D2 totally deserves a spot, in my opinion. This is going to be the whole thing for the top 5. But his Zeta ability, number crunch, I mean, probably it's one of the best Zeta abilities in the game. Maybe the best. I don't know what you think. Tons of raid viability, tons of territory battle viability. He's the whole package. Yep.
Yeah, he makes your light side teams all the more better in territory battles and arena and raids and everything else. His second Zeta, which I'm totally forgetting on right now, but the one that
combat analysis.
Yes, that allows the light side allies to cleanse on critical hits. That thing is fantastic, especially if you're fighting something like a Nihilus team. then
Yeah.
you can
Oh,
cleanse
gosh.
that health. You can cleanse that health down debuff
All
really
day.
quickly.
Especially
Yeah.
with all those critical hits that Commander Luke brings to the table.
Oh yeah.
Coming in at number 2, we have Grand Admiral Thrawn. And I feel similar about Thrawn that I do about Nihilus, because it's really cool to see a dark side character being the number 2 character in this game in such a light side heavy team. But it's a little bit different than Nihilus, because you can actually run Thrawn at the top with Empire. You can't do this with Nihilus with Sith, in my opinion. But Thrawn can be ran with Empire, especially if you've got Director Krennic and Death Trooper, maybe Shore Trooper as well, and win at the very top of your arena shards. It's possible.
Yes, it's definitely possible. Thrawn is pretty much the best dark side character that you have right now. And that's with his fracture alone puts him up there. It's up there with the Annihilate from Nihilus in terms of just how good it is. You have the Grand Admiral's Command that can swap turn meter and recover a lot of protection. Protection
40%.
recovery, yeah, protection recovery is like a huge deal in Arena.
All right, getting to number 1, and I really think that nobody is holding their breath on this. We all know that number 1 is Commander Luke. Now, there are people this month who didn't vote for Commander Luke to be number 1, so I do want to call that out. For the last several months, it's been unanimous number 1. So we have people who are voting against him at this point, but it's still, I mean, is it really possible to put together a logical argument that anyone else deserves number 1?
No, not really. I mean, he is... I think, like, you can put him into any roster, and it turns it from 0 to hero. Like, that's the thing about Commander Luke. Like, you can throw him in anything, and it could become one of the best. Yeah, Ewoks. Freaking Ewoks. Or Lobot-led droid teams. I mean, maybe I should try that at some point. I'm gonna try... That's gonna be my next video. Lobot-led droid teams with Commander Luke in there.
All right, there we go.
Yeah, great job, everybody.
Not to mention his territory battle viability being through the freaking roof, and his Rancor viability, his heroic tank viability. There's literally nothing that he doesn't dominate. That's the thing about Commander Luke, is a lot of people will debate, you know, how usable he is in certain areas of the game, and, you know, he's beatable or what have you. But the thing about him is he doesn't just do well. He doesn't just perform well in every area of the game. He freaking dominates in every area of the game.
There's Commander Luke, and then there's everybody else.
All right, guys, that rounds out our top 15 list. McMull, thank you so much for joining me for this. It was great to have your perspective.
Hey, man, I'm just glad to be here. Finally collaborate with you on something. We've been talking about this for like a month and a half.
Yeah, absolutely. It is about time. And hey, guys, stay tuned to McMull's channel. I'm going to be doing a video with him at some point. We don't know when exactly, but we'll get that arranged. And go ahead, if you haven't subscribed to McMull, I mean, come on, guys. You're not doing Star Wars Galaxy Heroes right. I'm throwing a link to his channel down in the description below. Please continue the debate. I know McMull and I debated these characters a bit. We got a few snuffs that we think. I think Towson deserves to be higher. Who's your biggest snuff, McMull?
Obviously Ezra. I mean, it's not even a question.
All right, so McMull thinks Ezra should be higher. Who do you guys think should be higher? Who is overrated? Who's underrated? Let us know down in the comments below. And as always, don't forget...
My dead body. Sorry about the mess.